Some of them are at myself on NASA builds will help assist with the static and more detail. Some of them are at CAD Valdez at CAD. They have CAD as well too. Yeah. Someone will get
I'll play by whoever's behind me.
Oh, I think you should do.
You guys are all serious. At least it shows you back where your mine's on top.
Hey, Chief, is this built into the address of 17?
I know it'll say 423. Building.
But on the brown marquee, it's an address of 17. No, it's
1751.
1751. Thank you, Chief.
What? I was asking for that.
My airmen, they're keeping the drivers, but they're sending the
And it's the bunch of
Oh,
parking lot.
oh, it's YouTube. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, please find your seats. The ceremony will begin momentarily. We request all electronic devices be silenced or turned off for the duration of the ceremony. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Staff Sergeant Christian Van Digma, and I will be your narrator for this event. On behalf of Colonel Rodney E. McCrae, commander of the 452nd Mission Support Group and presiding official for the ceremony, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 56th Aerial Port Squadron Change of Command. Throughout the ceremony, we'll be given cues to stand and be seated at appropriate times. As a reminder, military members in uniform remain at attention. All others place their right hand over their heart during the singing of the national anthem. Before we proceed any further, I would like to remind everyone that due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the ceremony has been altered to accommodate current local, state, and base health protection condition measures. At this moment, I'm pleased to extend a warm welcome to some very special guests joining us today. Please hold your applause until all guests have been introduced. We would like to welcome the wife of Major Matt Castaneda, Marissa Castaneda, his sons, Joel and Jackson Castaneda, his parents, Matt and Emily Castaneda, his father and mother-in-law, Tony and Miranda Vasquez, his sister and brother-in-law, Maureen and Matthew Piazza, and friend, Cameron Barrett. We would also like to welcome the fiancée to Lieutenant Colonel Lee Ellert, Brian Norris, her daughter, Riley Ellert, her mother, Dr. Belinda Puente, her father, United States Marine Corps, Master Sergeant retired, Pablo Puente Jr., her brothers and sisters-in-law, Joseph Puente, Liz Verdugo, John Puente, and Angel Puente, and many nieces and nephews. Please give them a hearty welcome. Among our distinguished guests in attendance, we are also pleased to welcome Command Chief, 452nd Air Mobility Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Octavio Ortiz. Command Chief, 452nd Mission Support Group, Chief Master Sergeant Rosalind Ratcliffe. Commander, 452nd Communications Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel D. Randolph. And Commander, 452nd Logistics Readiness Squadron, Major Johan Height. We would also like to welcome all commanders, chiefs, family members, special friends, and the members of the 452nd Mission Support Group. Thank you for sharing in this special occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the posting of the colors by the March Color Guard, singing of the national anthem by Staff Sergeant Tyler Garrett, and the invocation given by Chaplain Kim.
Oh, 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 please, and oh.
Almighty God, thank you for this day. Thank you for another day of life, the chance to have a positive impact on others. Today, as we pause for this ceremony and notice what and who surrounds us, we are reminded of the notion that the only thing constant is change. As is our custom, we give our time and attention to witness and participate in this change of command ceremony. Together, we send with our blessing, our encouragement, and well wishes, our friend and fellow servant and skilled leader, Major Matt Castaneda, and his family and loved ones. And in like manner, we welcome in Lieutenant Colonel Lee Ellard and her family and loved ones, with all that they bring to the 56th Imperial Port Squadron's port dogs. And we find ourselves with those sadness of a farewell and a joy for a new arrival to the command. God, we seek your blessings for our friends, for ourselves, and for those who serve to lead. Bless us, O Lord, with wisdom, with strength, with endurance, and with joy, that we may be a blessing to our country, to those who serve her cause, to our families and loved ones. Bless us, we pray, in your holy name. Amen. Holy Spirit. Thank you, Chapter King.
Please be seated. Today we will observe a change of command, in which Major Matt Castaneda will pass the reins of responsibility and leadership of the 56th Aerial Port Squadron to Lieutenant Colonel Lee Ellard. The change of command is a deeply rooted military tradition dating back to the time of Frederick the Great of Prussia. In that period, military organizations developed flags with unique and specialized colors and designs. When soldiers followed their leaders into battle, they kept sight of their flag. If the banner still waved after the conflict, it was a sign of victory. Having this position of great importance, the flag was incorporated into the ancient assumption of command ceremonies. The organizational banner was presented in public for all to see that the holder of the flag challenged and sovereign leader of the armies. The modern day ceremony is principally symbolic, yet it still announces to all the authority of incoming commanders and the finest military traditions. At this time, it is my honor to introduce presiding official for today's ceremony, the commander, 452nd Mission Support Group, Colonel Rodney E. McCrane.
Good morning, and specifically thank you to the families, to the Castanedas. I appreciate you guys coming, and thank you for loaning us Matt for the couple of years that he's been here. He's done a phenomenal job, and I'll talk him up a little bit more here shortly. And to the Ellards, thank you very much for coming out. Looking forward to integrating you back into the 452nd Air Mobility family. Really appreciate you guys coming out. Chief Ortiz, Chief Ratliff, thank you very much for representing the wing and the group. Really appreciate you coming here today. And to the fellow commanders, Colonel Butte, thank you for taking Colonel Howard. We appreciate that. And of course, LT, thanks a lot for all you've done. You've done a great job putting this thing together today. So, and one final round of applause for that rendition of the national anthem. That was me. So as the chaplain said, it's a bit of a bittersweet occasion. Definitely the bitter side is, Matt, we get to say goodbye to you and your leadership that you provided the 56 apps. I know the men and women of the port will definitely miss you. The sweet portion of that is, we get an opportunity to change out leaders, and they bring different things and different strengths to bear for command. And I think Lee is going to do that. So, but first, Matt, I want to brag on you a little bit. You've done some amazing things while you've been here. You
left active duty, came here. This is your first reserve assignment, right? Wow, what a ride, right? I remember transitioning from active duty. It's a little bit different when you hit the reserve world, isn't it? So yeah, you have you've taken it. You've learned a lot. You were the DO at the 56 apps to begin with, and then you took over command. They felt strong enough about your leadership that they put you in command. That says a lot about who you are. And then just for the audience, a couple of things. We like to brag on the commanders. We know that it is the men and women, the porters out there, those port dogs that are getting it done from day to day. That your strong and steady leadership definitely allows them to do the things they do. I know that you provide a lot of top cover for them so that they can get out there and learn their job and do it well. And you've done that. You've done that well. So again, it came to the unit after several years in active duty. He's done some tours in Germany and Japan. He's been above the level. It's important because as I look at officer development, he's done the things that he needs to do to continue developing himself as an officer. And command was that one next step that he was going to make. He knocked it out. A couple things that he's done. When he first took over command, one of his first orders of business was to mobilize 52 aerial porters and send them out to 5 different nations and 2 geographically combatant commands. It is fitting that as you leave command, that you are getting ready to send some of those same folks out the door again to go wearing the nation's cloth downrange to do our business. So I know Lee's going to take up the mantle where you left off. You did it successfully, and thank you for all that you've done and how you've kept your folks trained and ready to go. In addition to that, it's easy when you're trying to put folks out the door to make sure they're trained, to make sure they're ready to go. But what's hard is when you get back into the unit, you have that rest time. And Matt has done a great job. He hasn't rested on his laurels and said, hey, we did a great job. Let's just not do anything. He really focused on the upgrade training strategy. It's been mentioned a couple of times over this weekend by General Coburn, the ability of the aerial ports to plan their annual tour and to execute their annual tour. Matt, you played a significant role in that. And that's not just for the 56, but for the 50th as well. You've been a part of a phenomenal leadership team that has really given the aerial ports here a phenomenal reputation, and that really reflects well on you and your leadership. You were handpicked to provide logistic support to the crisis action team during the F-16 crash. Again, that speaks to just your technical prowess and what you do. And for those of you who don't know, we had an F-16 crash with the International Guard here, and it's a big deal to be sitting on the crisis action team because it's not just the stuff that's inside the fence that we worry about, particularly for a logistician. We're coordinating with the city, we're coordinating with the county, we're coordinating with the state, and a lot of other federal entities too. And so, Matt, you did that job flawlessly. Hats off to you. That's a tough job to happen on a moment's notice. Nobody planned to do that night, so congratulations. And then, finally, COVID. Right? This has been a strange year for most of us, and I was telling Marissa and Matt before, I really hate that it's the first time that I actually get to physically meet you in person is the day that we do APS Change of Command. I really wish we could have known each other a little bit more ahead of time and done some fun things. Not that working isn't fun, but parties, good times. But Matt, you stepped up to the plate once again as a traditional reservist commander with a very busy full-time job. I've had plenty of conversations about that, and you implemented, I will say seamlessly, virtual UTAs, and to the best of your ability, you provided quality training to your folks, and have kept them moving in the right direction, making sure that they're ready to go out the door later this year and then early next year. And what would any good speech be without some cool statistics go along with it? So Matt, what you've done is you have taken your folks and we took a medical readiness hit for a while there because we just weren't able to get everybody in to do their medical readiness. Over the last about 6 months or so, you have increased your overall medical readiness by 46%. That's phenomenal. And you continue to improve every single month. And you've taken those folks that were in their upgrade training that got stalled out because we couldn't come to your base. And somehow you've made that work too. And what you've done is you've reduced those members that were having a hard time in their upgrade training by 30%. So you put them on the right track, make sure that they're ready to go. So Matt, hats off to you. You've done a phenomenal job as commander. And I know you're going to do amazing things as you go to the 701st. Then for what everybody doesn't necessarily know, so Matt is moving into a new position where he is essentially going to do some exercise planning, some logistics for that. Now I'm going to switch over and talk about our new commander, who, by the way, right now is doing exercises, safety, and logistics and planning. So it's a little bit of a swap here. They're kind of taking each other's jobs in different organizations. So again, Matt, thank you. And to Marissa, Jackson, Joel, I know we took them away from you a lot. I know we took a lot of hours. I've heard numerous stories of you two sitting on the couch in the middle of the night at 11 or 12 o'clock, doing your different jobs. So thank you for giving us Matt, and he's done a phenomenal job. So thank you, Matt. Before we keep bragging on Matt, we're going to brag on Matt a little bit more here in just a minute. But before we do, I want to make sure that you guys know who you're getting. Lieutenant Colonel Leah Illard, she and I had an opportunity to meet over the phone by a mutual friend back about the end of last year. Matt and I had already begun talking about what his exit strategy is, what was going to be next for him, and what was the most appropriate job for him. And it just so happened around that same time, I found out that Lee was looking for a place to come and a place to make her next step. And so we started talking. And I said, "Hey, why don't you send me your resume?" And wow, what a resume! Just starting with where she is right now, she's at safety in Africa. She was in Morocco, right? Morocco last week. She's been jet setting all over the world. And I think you were. I can't remember if it was Estonia or you were somewhere about a month ago and you were texting me, "Hi from Estonia," or something like that. So yeah. Yeah. So she's been all over the world, literally all over the world, all over Europe, helping us plan very large major exercises. Very, very important job that she's doing. So both in Africa and Europe, and she's been doing it from the operations perspective, which for a logistician, that's pretty important. She's getting an operational view on doing logistics. Just prior to that, she actually had the opportunity to work at CENTCOM J4. So she actually did big logistics. We call it big joint logistics. And again, that above level wing view really provides a significant perspective for an officer that you just don't always get when you are here at the wing level. And so that's what she was doing just prior to that. But you think, well, why would you stick this person in an aerial position? Well, just prior to that, she was the operations officer for the 26th Air Report down at the 433rd Wing in San Antonio. So this is not her first rodeo with an aerial report squadron. And what's more important for me, for the logistics officers, we really have two flavors of squadrons that we look at. One is the air side, so the air report, that kind of logistics. But the other side is the ground logistics side of it, which is more in the logistics planning, fuels, parts, and vehicles, and things of that nature. Well, she's got that too. She's spent a lot of time as a flight commander, as an OIC, working in ground logistics. So she's very grounded. She has an understanding of the other side of logistics. But wait, let's not stop there, because she's done some other things as well. So back in about the 12 to 15 time frame, this is not her first time at March Air Reserve Base. She was I'm going to make sure I get this right, the director of the command post. So she was actually a command post officer. So this is really important because the mindset that it takes to be a command post officer and understand what it takes to do our mission and to look at it from an operational viewpoint. She spent several years really, no kidding, understanding the checklist, knowing what needs to be done. And so that operational experience combined with the joint experience and the ground and air logistics, the person that you guys are getting is going to be amazing, and she's going to do a phenomenal job. So Lee, I can't wait to have you. For Brian and Riley, I will promise that she's probably going to have some late nights, and I will apologize up front for that. she and I had a great discussion. I said, hey, this is an important year. We're getting ready to send not only the 50th, but the 56 folks out the door to go downrange. It's a little bit over 100 folks. This is pretty important. Lee, this is going to be your job one, to make sure that they get out, they have their training, and they have their equipment, and that they're ready to go. You're going to do a great job. I know it. But thank you for putting her on loan to us. Appreciate it. Look forward to, again, like I said, integrating her into our family. So with that, thank you both. You two are phenomenal officers, and I am much better for knowing the both of you. Matt, you're going to do phenomenal things as we go forward in the future. I know this is not the last time you and I are going to run into each other. And Lee, I'm really excited to see where you're going to take us in the 56th. I know you're excited about taking command of an airport. This is awesome. This will be a great time. To the men and women of the 56th, please support your commander. I'm going to have high standards for her as I have high standards for you. And I know you guys are going to do great things, and you're going to go downrange and be ready to go. So with that, why don't we make this official?
Thank you, Colonel McCrane. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as Colonel McCrane presents Major Castaneda, the Air Force Meritorious Service Medal. Attention to orders. Major Matt C. Castaneda distinguished himself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States while assigned to the 56th Aerial Port Squadron 452nd Mission Support Group, 452nd Air Mobility Wing, March Air Reserve Base. As the commander of over 180 airmen, the squadron processed 91,000 passengers and 6,000 short tons of cargo, yielding a 98% on-time delivery in support of the deployment of citizen airmen worldwide. Moreover, he deployed 53 squadron airmen in support of operations Inherent Resolve, Freedom Sentinel, Resolute Support, and Spartan Shield, processing passengers and cargo on 4,000 missions to equip combatant commanders with lethal power. Major Castaneda's exceptional leadership re-energized airmen recognition, resulting in 8 group and wing level awards. His joint mindset enabled the successful deployment of over 33,000 troops from the Marine Expeditionary Forces, the United States Navy Explosive Ordnance Team, Naval Special Warfare Group, SEAL Team 3, and 425th Civil Affairs Battalion, supporting over 600 combat and exercise missions. Finally, he was selected to represent the Mission Support Group on the Crisis Action Team following an F-16 mishap, providing critical updates while overseeing fuel lab, debris transportation, ordnance disposal, and other mission support which minimized harm to the local community. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Major Castaneda reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Thank you, Colonel McCrane. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the commander, 56th Aerial Port Squadron, Major Matt Castaneda.
Happy Sunday. So the boss lady over there in the white dress ordered me not to speak longer than 8 minutes. So that's my task this morning. That's my mission, to keep it under 8 minutes. Let's start off with the game of chess. I firmly believe that one's career is like the game of chess. Capturing the king is the end goal. Whether that goal is becoming Chief Master Sergeant, 06, Squadron, Group, Wing, Commander, you always have to think 3 moves ahead, right, in the game of chess. My capture the king was Squadron Commander. And today, I graduate Squadron Command. I am super humbled and honored to stand here today as a graduated Squadron Commander. Chief Ortiz, I told you a few minutes ago that I looked up to you when you were the MSG chief, and I still look up to you now. I want to be like you when I grow up. I appreciate you. Thank you, Chief, for being here. Chief Ratliff, one of the kindest, most patient chiefs I've ever met, active duty and reserves. I appreciate your work, your patience, and your help towards the 56. Lieutenant Colonel Underwood, thank you, sir, for being here and for helping me out these few months that we overlapped. Always responsive and attending to my questions and my needs. I appreciate you, sir. All leaders in the crowd, flight, squadron, you hike out there somewhere, LRS, group, wing leaders, thank you for hanging out with the port today and for taking time to share this time-honored Air Force tradition with the port, with my peeps. Colonel Crane, I appreciate the kind words. Forgot that I did all of that. I forgot that they did all of that. It's awesome work. Thank you for presiding today, sir. I appreciate you. Planning and executing ceremonies like this is not easy. I saw a little bit of stress come out of LT. Where's LT at? LT Stewart. Let's give him a round of applause. Special thanks to MC Christian Mandigma for stepping up, volunteering to do this. It's not easy being up here reading. I wouldn't want to do it, so sir, thank you very much. Much love to Sergeants Aguirre, Hernandez, and the Honor Guard crew, PA. Perry Covington, thank you, sir. Chaplain Kim, for those words, for the blessings. And Staff Sergeant Tyler Garrett, once again, I'm sure we're going to thank her a third time, but that gave you the tingles from top to bottom. Ma'am, thank you very much. Where you at? Thank you. I'm truly honored to share the spotlight with each and every one of you this morning. Lieutenant Colonel Lee Eller, I keep saying Ayler, but it's Eller. Ma'am, once again, welcome to the Mighty 56. Hopefully, I don't know how you're feeling today. I'm pretty sore myself. Hopefully, we didn't break you yesterday when we hiked Mount Cupido. But you are truly inheriting a talented, professional, and good-looking group of airmen. Well, maybe not Chief Ayler. Everyone else is good-looking except for Chief. But these airmen understand why we serve. They understand the concepts of duty, honor, and sacrifice. I know they'll take care of you like they took care of me these last 3 years. So welcome to the team, ma'am. Proud to have you. Arguably, Squadron Command is the most rewarding officer job in the Air Force. General Goldfein, former Air Force Chief of Staff, said, quote, "Command is the ultimate service, a unique privilege, a demanding and crucial position in our Air Force. It's when a leader can directly affect the most positive change in our airmen." And I hope I did that for the 56. My drive was leading the amazing 5.6 Port Dogs. My motivation was earning this commander's badge and that Spartan Guidon. There's no other unit that I would choose as my first command assignment, potentially my last. So this UTA ends my 4.5 years with the 56 and 3.5 years as your proud commander. And like I said yesterday at Mount Rubidoux, I honestly won't fully remember all of the exercises, inspections, training, CBTs, and things we did to remain ready airmen, because that's our job, right? That's what we're hired to do. What I will remember, though, are the things that we did to strengthen our bond, our friendship, and our trust between us. Our Saturday afternoon PT sessions that you all enjoyed, I'm sure. Our volleyball, football, basketball, kickball, softball games, our Thanksgiving potlucks, our holiday parties, our Port Dog debriefs. Port Dogs know what that means. I'll remember our monthly birthday military bearing contests. We missed that the most, I think. I'll remember the super tough decisions I made with my command team with a closed door. I'll remember the shared tears in my office, both the good tears and the bad tears. This last UTA is special in that I ended my command tour the same way I started it 3 years ago, hiking Mount Rubidoux with my Port brothers and sisters. In these last several years, hopefully through my actions, I expressed clearly enough that my number one passion is the airmen. Because it is you who make that mission happen, point blank. I would not be standing here, a successful graduated squadron commander without the airmen who followed me because they wanted to, not because they had to. Airmen who believed in me and took chances on me. I owe everything to the Port Dogs here. I know half of them are doing CADM and mission, which they were all here. I know some are on virtually, but thank you for inspiring me and challenging me each and every month, each and every day. So that's really what I want to do today. On the second page, so I'm almost done. Thank you. To say thanks to those airmen. Firstly, to Colonel Hosey, she might be online. Such a great leader and mentor to me. She still checks in on me every now and again, and I really do appreciate that from her. I appreciate, first and foremost, her trust in me and hiring me into this position, and for giving me this career-changing opportunity. So, Colonel Hosey, if you're out there, thank you, ma'am. Got love for you and respect. To my Port Airmen NCOs and senior NCOs, cargo, ramp, PAX, ATOC, load planning, special and fleet. I can't thank you enough for your dedication, commitment, and compassion day by day, month by month. I am honored to be a member of your team. I can't be more proud of your commander. You are the real reason the 452nd AMW can rapidly mobilize our firepower across the globe and get after the enemy. To the 56 OIC superintendents and program managers, most of which are here today, smiling at me right now. Thanks for being patient with me as I learned how to best lead from the front and from the rear. I respect the working relationships we've made, the friendships we've made. I simply just want to say thanks for the good times and the hard times. More importantly, thanks for leading our airmen. You did that, not me. Thanks for leading our airmen. To my command team, Dutra then, Senior Master Sergeant Dutra then, LT Dutra now, who's overseas, and acting First Sergeant Jessica Taylor, who's online, I hope. I appreciate how you and who you serve. Our most powerful and essential resource are 2 T2s. You did it well and with grace. Chief Jack, the Hammer Lake, who's online, and Chief Chris, the Leprechaun Rice, who's also online, inside nicknames. These past few years, I've gone to you many times for mentorship and just stupid questions that us officers like to ask every month, every day. You two are my confidants, Chief Lake and Chief Rice. You're experienced, knowledgeable, just super old, which means you have wisdom. And speaking of super old, Chief Rob Homer Simpson Ehlers, the squadron truly does not skip a beat because of you. You are the squadron pulse, and I cannot thank you enough for what you do before, during, and after UTA. I'm going to miss you the most. Even though your running is getting a little weak around the track and up that mountain yesterday, you made it the whole way. I still beat you. Just been talking trash this whole weekend, getting it in. Chief, I got the mic. But even though he's getting weak, I don't say this about many. Chairman Diaz said this about me a few months ago. I'd go to war with Chief Taylor any day, no question. Master Sergeant Muniz, I haven't seen him yet. You know I got love for you. Also, Green, Mr. Moffitt is here. Sergeant Murphy and our CSS team are here. You truly are the face and the voice of the squadron, of our team. I respect what you do to keep the port machine running month by month. Captain Shane Mirica Thompson, over there. One of the best hires in my career. I told Lieutenant Colonel Taylor that she's going to soon know how valuable this guy is to our morale and to our operations. One of the best hires, like I said, I've made in my career. Can't wait to see that commander's badge on you. Thank you for what you do and watching my back. Watching my back, not washing my back. Watching. Last and most important, my beautiful family right here. Colonel Hosey often spoke about the importance of balancing the tripod, and I've shared that with my team many, many times. In each of us, the Air Force Reserves, our civilian careers, our family lives must be in balance. My family is the reason why I am so balanced and so blessed. My dad, the wine shirt on, retired Navy, gave my sister and I our military foundation. My big sister, soon to be Senior Master Sergeant Piazza, is the reason why I applied for ROTC at San Diego State 19 years ago. My baby sister, Marielle, who's smarter than my older sister and I combined, working on her master's already. So proud of you. My work ethic, humility, servant personality, and passion come from my mom. My motivation and the reason why I continue to wear this uniform is because of my lovely bride, my true commander. She keeps me grounded, but most importantly, she feeds me food. Really good food, home-cooked food. Merce, we go down this Air Force road a little farther, side by side, as it should be and as it always been. She really isn't much of a flowers girl, because she's a murderer of flowers and plants. I got to dry and preserve botanicals. Can't kill what's already killed, dead. I also got her, she's not an alcoholic. The size of this might show that, but her favorite poison is Hennessy. And then for my two little palangots, and in Tagalog that means boogers. I love you 100, Joel and Jax. I got them the squadron mascot, port dogs with the dog tags, one that says Staff Sergeant Joel, and one that says Senior Airman Jax. Let me hand that to you.
Shots on me, guys.
That's our tool. All right, we're done. Let's see. Once again, thank you for your support, the kind words, and more importantly, thank you for your service. Always remember the unit core values that we shared these last 3.5 years. You know them all by memory. I know it. Know your job well, do your job well, and treat others with respect. I've got much love to each and every one of you. I really do. Thank you very much.
Squadron, rolling. Present, on. Order, on. Port dog!
Sir, the men and women of the 56th Aerial Port Squadron just want to thank you for being more than a manager, but a leader. You definitely made an impact in all of our lives. And we're so grateful to have had you with us. We're sad to see you go. We wish you success in your future endeavors, and we pray that God bless you. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now commence with the change of command for the 56th Aerial Port Squadron. This transfer symbolizes the continuity of command in the armed forces. The flag is a physical manifestation of command and is passed from Major Castaneda to Colonel McCrae, who will then pass it to Lieutenant Colonel Eller as the sign of the transfer of command. Attention to orders. Department of the Air Force Special Order Number Golf Oscar-21-08. Under the provisions of Air Force Instruction 51-04, 604. Effective June 27, 2021. Lieutenant Colonel Lee Eller assumes command of the 56th Aerial Port Squadron, March Air Reserve Base, California. Sir, please. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It is now my privilege to present to you the new commander of the 56th Aerial Port Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Lee Heller.
Present up. Order up.
Squadron, fall out.
Squadron, follow.
I've been in the ops world for a couple of years, so don't be surprised if you wind up getting a call sign. I had a hard time with your last name, so you're Sergeant Manning now. Colonel Rocco McCrane, thank you for officiating today and believing in me. I really appreciate it. I look forward to working with you and your leadership and your mentorship. Chief Ortiz, Chief Ratliff, thank you for being here today. Lieutenant Colonel Underwood, thank you. I appreciate you in attendance today. My fellow squadron commanders, Joanne, thank you for your support now and always. I know we're going to be besties. I wish I had enough time to personally thank each and every one of you for being here today and those watching virtually. I look around at my family and my friends, my lifelong friends who came from near and far to be with me here today. And you will never know how much your support means to me because there aren't enough words of gratitude to express my thanks. So many of you have been instrumental in my career and my life, and I'm truly grateful for your support, friendship, and love. And I'm not gonna cry yet. So yesterday, I had the opportunity to spend some time with the men and women of the 56. And let me tell you, it was pretty brutal. It was rough. 100-degree weather, a hike that I have done many times before, but somehow it seemed a lot longer. What an initiation to the squadron, let me tell you. I've never been so happy to see the top of a mountain before in my entire life. Standing up at the top, I just like, oh my God, thank you. And I'm not last. And God, please don't let me puke or faint in front of my new family. But once my heat-induced delirium subsided, I was able to observe Matt with his team. I was so honored to have the opportunity to see Matt interact with the squadron in an informal setting. The laughter, playfulness, and all-around professionalism and respect made my heart happy. Those of you that were there yesterday, I hope you know what a special gift you gave me. I got to see you firsthand with your leader and how you treated him and how much you loved and respected him. And I also thank you so much for the Gatorades and the water because I really needed it. It was bad. Thank you for allowing me that inside look in the curtain. I really appreciated it. And I absolutely cannot wait to be part of your team. Matt, thank you for making me feel welcome from day one and for reminding me there is a very special group of individuals I need to thank in part for today. The men and women of the 26th Aerial Port Squadron in San Antonio, Texas. Because of a short notice assignment to Germany, I never really had a chance to properly thank them for the foundation they helped me build as a port dog. Witnessing Matt and his port dogs yesterday made me realize what a special breed the 2T2 community really is, and I am so fortunate to be part of it. Thank you, 2-6. You will always have a special place in my heart, which is one of the many, many reasons I am so excited to be standing here today accepting my first command of an aerial port squadron. As for the men and women of the 56, thank you again for yesterday. And for those of you who put this event together, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I look forward to all our time together. I'm at a point in my career where there are more years behind me than in front of me. And for many of you, it is the opposite. There are more years ahead of you. And in knowing this, I look forward to being part of your formidable years in the Air Force. To not only be your commander, but to stand with you in times of success and failure, to be present, and to help you achieve your goals and your aspirations in our great Air Force, as so many others have helped me. I live my life paying it forward, and I hope I will honor the legacy Matt leaves behind. Matt, thank you for your tenure at the 56 and for the legacy you leave for me and the future commanders of the 56. I wish you and your family all the best professionally and personally. Lastly, I'd like to thank my family. My Brian, who has never met a stranger, makes me laugh until my sides ache, kicks my butt when I need it, and who gave me my bonus kids, Sarah, Austin, and Josh. My dad, who many moons ago helped me make one of the most important decisions of my life, enlisting in the Air Force. I wish I could say it was a profound, life-altering experience, but in reality, this decision was made by his stomach. A story about his time in an Air Force base where he was served a hot strawberry waffle on China, and they didn't even have to clear their table. Forget the Marine Corps, that's the service he wanted for me, was the Air Force. And look at us now, Daddy, here we are. My brothers, Joseph and John, thank you for showing me what true heroes look like. Every day you risk your lives to protect the communities of San Bernardino and Riverside County. No sister could be prouder. My sister-in-law, Angel, who is a badass in her own right, mother, entrepreneur, and all-around best friend. And lastly, I had to save these two for last. My mom, I'm truly standing on the shoulders of a giant. She is the voice in my head, the never-ending well of strength I draw from. All that I am is because of her unwavering support and dedication to me. I love you three forever. Thank you, Mommy. And Riley, my little girl, my bestie, my Hellion, the girl who I have no doubt will make a difference in this world because she makes a difference in mine every day. Everything I do is because of you, for you, and with you. This is for you, kid. I can't wait to see your artistic eye tackle my new office, and I look forward to your words of wisdom as my most trusted advisor to navigating effective communication with the 17 to 25-year-olds in my squadron. I promise not to use the words, "that's rad," or "oh my God, I'm so jelly." I love you to the moon and back times infinity, my ducky. Again, to all my friends and family, thank you for sharing this day with me and for all your love and support. And to the men and women of the 56, I look forward to our time together and many, many, hopefully good times. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Eller. The men and women of the 56 Aerial Port Squadron would also like to take this opportunity to extend a warm welcome to Colonel Eller's family. We look forward to your integration into the 56 Aerial Port Squadron and your devotion to the men and women of the 452nd Air Mobility Wing. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's change of command ceremony. In keeping with military traditions, please stand as we conclude with the singing of the Air Force song, followed by the departure of the official party. Please remain in place until the official party has departed the area.
Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, zooming to meet our thunder. Adam boys, give her the gun, give her the gun. Down we die, spouting our blade from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in congratulating Lieutenant Colonel Ellert. A reception will be held at the Deployment Center, Building 390. On behalf of Colonel McCrane and Lieutenant Colonel Ellert, we thank you for your support and attendance at today's ceremony. Have a great day. Well, don't forget, there's food at the reception too. So please come.
John.